Hi, it's Jen. Today I want to share with you a little project that I've been working over the past week. I wasn't able to do a video on Sunday, but I thought I would pop on here today and show you quickly just one thing that I worked on. Now, I had a birthday that I but wanted to give a gift to somebody, and I will put a picture up here on the screen. And I made this post-it note holder, and for the lady is crafty, so I thought it would be really handy to put at the side of the desk. You know how when you create things you need to jot measurements down so you won't forget? So that was my thinking behind it. So, and then as I was making it, I thought, I wonder if I could make one for myself, like in a junk journal style. And so I made this, and I really like that clip. And then the back is just plain here. Now I wanted to put this graph paper here because I thought it would be neat to keep track of things. So, and to always have on hand. So I thought that would be kind of neat. Even if you wanted to track birthdays or anniversaries or wherever you want to put this in your home, whatever you want to remember, I thought putting that grid paper there would be neat. And then this is just an old book page. And yeah, just very simple. Then I put the post-it notes on it, and then the clip. Let me see. Nope, wrong way. Then I was thinking, well, maybe instead of just having it plain, why don't I do it a little bit more junk journaling using some collage papers. And so I did this one, and on the back I made a pocket. So here's a pocket here, and then there's a pocket back here, and this would be great to make for crafty friends for birthdays or whatnot, because you can always stick a gift card in the back here with a little note, their birthday card. So I thought that would be really neat just to sit on the side of a craft desk, just to jot measurements down or what have you, or things you need to get or things you need to do. So I thought that would be fun in a craft space. Well, then I thought, although these are great in our craft spaces, what if I could create something like that for our journals? And so I came up with this one. So this one, I made it obviously a little different because we don't want like a whole stack of post-it notes in our journals. So what I did is I just made a little booklet of papers. I'll share with you that a little bit later on. And then my idea behind this is this could hang on a page or on the outside of a book as a charm, or wherever you want it in your journals. And I thought you could journal on these pages, and at the very back I thought it'd be neat to put one of those, if you have a Polaroid zip that takes those little pictures, I thought that'd be neat to put a picture here and then journal all about it on there. And then on the back, I thought it would be neat for the pockets, would be neat for ephemera that goes along with whatever you're journaling about. So I really enjoyed making these. I thought this was a neat idea. Now, how I made all of these ones is I had gone to the thrift store, and this was in 2020. I'm not really sure when it was that I came across these, but I found these coasters, and a whole it was a brand new package. It was shrink wrapped and everything, and we don't have one of these by us at all, so it's so interesting what you find, eh? But so I took this coaster, and obviously I covered it with paper and whatnot, and that's how I made these. And they're not that thick. So this one, like, this wouldn't be thicker than, you know, say a bow or whatever else we put in our junk journals. I think these would be relatively the same as, like, the thickness I'm talking about. It would be relatively the same as other things that we do put in our junk journals. But then I was thinking, well, not every, because I didn't have my hands on these till a year ago or so. I'm really not sure, but I didn't get my hands on these for a while. And then I was thinking, well, for people who don't have those, what are they going to use? So I made one using just packaging, just a piece of card from cereal boxes or whatever food packaging you have, and it worked pretty much the exact same. So I think it turned out really cute, and it is a little bit lighter than the other one, not by much. This would lay a little bit flatter, but it turned out the same. And just because for what you're intending it for, it doesn't need to be super sturdy, because if you lay it down here, it is way sturdy to do journaling and whatnot. It's perfect. So if you don't have any of these coasters, it's quite alright. I think if you want the thickness of this coaster here, you just have to double the thickness of your card, and that's it. And it would be perfectly fine, and then cover both sides with paper. But I just did a thin, like just one thickness of that card, and it turned out great. So there's no problems there. So today I thought I would share with you how I made these cool little charms, or however you want to use them in our journals. So now, if the steps are pretty much the same if you're using these coasters or if you're going to be using a piece of packaging like a card. And what you do, now I tried a few different glues, and I did try my fabric tack and other liquid glue, and it just buckled my cardboard and even the coaster here. So I went right to my glue stick, and everything has been sticking. I haven't had any problem with anything popping up on the coaster or on the cardboard here. So all I did is put glue all around the coaster and the cardstock, like the packaging, and I just stuck whatever paper I wanted on there. This paper is from Artie Mays, so that's from her, and so that was stuck down, and I just used my bone folder to really get a good press. And then I was going to share with you how I just took my Tim Holtz ruler, and then I took an X-Acto knife, and I just cut the excess off. My knife is going to need a new blade. And then that's all there is to it. And you could even use your cutting, your paper cutter for this too. I'm sure that would do the trick as well. For me, I was just nervous about cutting too much off or cutting what I wasn't supposed to cut off. And this works beautifully. And these work up pretty fast. And I mean, if you do each step at a time, and there you go. And that's perfectly, well, I don't know how square it is, but it matches. And I do one side at a time just so that way I can get things as precise as I can. Now, if you do have those coasters, I was going to just share a quick tip as I'm cutting. Something that I found is you can't use I try to use the quarter rounder by We Are Memory Keepers, and it doesn't, the rounder, it doesn't match. And so what I found to work really good is if I just took my X-Acto knife, and all I did, and I didn't even try to cut around the edge here, just because it didn't work. I cut too much off. Some of the paper from the front came off. So the thing that I found the easiest is I just went straight this way. I just cut off an edge like this, turned it, and then I cut that edge off. And on the front, you're going to see it doesn't look the best, like it's not a nice round curve. Then what I did is I brought in my nail file, and I did turn around this way just to follow the edge better. And I just did this. And then and look at that, guys. I'm trying to see. Isn't that great? Let me ink that so you can see. I thought that turned out, that technique for me worked out so much better than trying to cut around the edge, than to use a corner rounder. Like, look at those edges. I thought that turned out really, really good. I thought that, so that technique really helped for when using the coasters, something that's already rounded. I thought that worked quite well. So I'll just do that again, just so that you can see. So all I did, so here's the edge there. I just put my blade closest to the edge, and then instead of rounding, I just go straight down. Turn it, put my knife to the, just leaning against the edge there, and then cut straight down. Then all I do is I take my emery board and I just round everything, make sure everything is looking good. And again, things don't have to be perfect, but we just want to do the best we can, right? And there you go. And that edge is done. So that technique has really helped me out, and it helped me to get these done a whole lot faster than trying to fuss with cutting it, or what have you. So that has really helped me. So that was a tip if you're using the coasters, if you have them. But back to the cardstock. So after you put the cardstock on the front and on the back, I don't round corners or anything yet. So after you get it glued and cut on the front and the back, the next few things that I have done is I do a little bit of zigzag stitching on the front on 3 different spots. I ink all around the square, and I put a hole in the center here. Now, how I figured out where I want to punch a hole, I'll make one here with this one. Take my ruler out, get my pencil, and then I just measure, because this is a 4-inch square. It's the same size as the coaster. And so what I do is I just mark it at 2 inches, and I go down a 1/2 inch. So how I figured out a 1/2 inch is I went to my tags just to see how far it went down. And it was a 1/2 inch, and there you go. So now it's marked and ready to go, and before you know it, after I get that side glued, I will be able, and then I just erase this mark, it erases really well. And there you go. And then I have a mark at 2 inches in the middle and a 1/2 inch down from the top. And that's where, and if you look right here, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see my pencil mark right there. So that's how I figured out my center. And I got the back done as well. I put paper on the back, and then I did ink around the center there, and I just used this eyeshadow applicator, and then I just stuck it in the middle and I just twisted. So I did that. I stuck on a piece of tape to make it look old. And then the next thing that we're going to do is I had already got made a little pocket for it. Now the pocket size is 4 by 2. So it's 4 inches by 2 inches. And then the acetate is 1.5 inches. So it's 1.5 by 4. And then all I did is I put the 2 pieces together at the top, and then that's when I cut out a little shape here, a little notch. Okay, so one more time. So the pocket measures 2 inches by 4. The acetate piece is 1.5 inches by 4 inches. And then all I do is I glue it on. I do use Fabri-Tac for this because I want it to hold on really well. And so, now I'm not going to concentrate on gluing around this corner here because we are going to be cutting that off. So I guesstimate. And there we go. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to match the corners. And the reason why I didn't want to cut any corners yet is so that way when I did this part, I can do it at the same time. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this clip and this clip, and I want it to hold down the edge. Oops, I got some glue on there. Okay. So I'm just going to have that hold down for a few minutes, and as we do that, I thought I would make that tape with you. I know so 2 videos ago I had shared with you a tag that I had made, and I wanted to use tape. I wanted to make tape that looked old for right here, and I didn't have the supplies to do that, so I just used pattern paper. Well, I looked into it after that video, so I do have a haul right now. I'll just share with you. I got this alcohol ink. It's Rangers. I think it's Tim Holtz. Yep. Tim Holtz. And it's in the caramel. Then what you do, I just do little pieces at a time just because I don't know how often I'm going to be making these. There we go. And I just stick it right on there. My used parchment paper. Then I'm going to use another one of these eyeshadow applicators, and then I just do a couple dabs of the alcohol ink, and there you go. And I like how it goes under because it gives it a little, yeah, I just like how it looks. It's cute. And then I'm going to bring out this one. What I do as well, just because ink does get under there sometimes, I do put a little bit of glue stick on it just to make sure it's not going to pop off. And you can put it where you like. And there you go. Done. Your little piece of vintage tape is done. Now I know, I think I have seen other ladies do this, and they do big long sheets of tape at a time. I just haven't done that because I don't know what I'm going to be using them for, and they did mention that if you leave it stuck down to a spot too long, it gets harder to get up. So I just heated that warning, and then I just do little pieces at a time. And so there you go. I thought that looked kind of cute. So there's that, and let's check on this. And something else that I wanted to share with you while that continues to stick. This one that I did, I use these clips that you can get from the Dollar Tree. You can get a bag, I think there's 6 in each bag, for $1.25. So if you're wanting to make some of these, that's where I got these clips. They're at the Dollar Tree, 6 for $1.25. I believe they're 6, or it's 8, 6 or 8. But that's those. Okay, I'm just going to quickly get some glue off here, because if you don't do it right away, it just stays there, and I don't like that look. That's the only thing with fabric tack, is some of the glue gets out. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly make sure everything is down. Okay. Hopefully that did the trick. Then the next thing that we're going to do is I am going to use, excuse me, my corner rounder, and I'm going to round my corners now. So when you do your own out of just a piece of packaging, you can do whatever corners you want. You can do scalloped, you can, you know, tickets, you can do whatever you want. I'm partial to the 1/2 inch. I think mine needs to be sharpened, but the 1/2 inch one. And so I do that, and then because some of them didn't get, that acetate didn't get cut, I'm just going to take my scissors here and finish it. It just takes a second. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my emery board just to make sure everything is good. Not perfect, but just nicely. Okay, that looks good. Actually, just quickly do it here too. Just get rid of any of that, any paper that got left, right? Then I'm just going to take my because I've already inked, so I'm just going to go back and ink those corners up. So I want to do the front as well. And I don't know if you noticed, I should have showed you, but on this one, the one that I made out of cardboard, like this one, I took my distressing tool and I distressed all around it, just because I liked that look, and I think I may do it with this one too. And I'm just gonna I really like the look of that. I don't do the corners though. I just do the sides. I think that looks so cute. Oh yeah, I do like that. It gives it more of a shabbier look. Okay, yeah. I like that. Alright. I like that better. The plain is nice too, but sometimes you want things more shabby, right? And then I'm going to go take my ink in there just to get it all inked up again, because we did open up the pores of the paper. And there we go. Okay, I like that. So that's an option too. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to. But I do like the look that it does give our... Let me just get rid of all the stuff. Alright, and so that's another thing that we did. And then the rest of it is pretty easy. Now it's just having fun decorating and putting your own stuff on there. Now, the pad of paper that I'm sticking on there, this is just a sales order, a piece of a sales order. I did craft paper. I did grid paper. This is calligraphy paper. And then this is just school lined paper. I just sewed those all together. The size of these, I made the same size as a Post-it note would be, 3 by 3. All I did was I took my ruler and then I ripped the paper. I didn't cut it, I just ripped it so it would have more of a, wouldn't be so perfect edges. So, and then all I do is I sewed them together with a zigzag stitch, and when I glue, I just glue right on top of that stitching, and that's it. And then make sure my tails are out. And then I try to, and that's the reason why I punch my hole when I do, is so that way when I put my paper on, I know somewhat where it is. So I can somewhat line it up. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, that's okay. I like that. And then I just press it down, and then I bring one of those clips in again, just making sure it's straight. Things don't have to be perfect, but I don't want it to be all. There we go. And then I'm going to just hold that down for a while. And then the other things that I put in it is I made this round tag. I made these round tags a while ago. I have some on my channel, but all it is of course dictionary papers, a piece of lace, some, what is that called? can't think of it. And then I put a vintage stamp on it, cheesecloth. And then on the back, it's just a plain tag that you can write something on. So what, I know these are small tags. Oh, I got some glue on there. I know these are small tags, but I think these are great for if you put it beside a picture and you hang it there. You can just write a name. You can write a place. So that's why I like these small ones. I have this like a book plate or whatnot, a little card. And then another thing that I thought would be cute going in one of these is it's a little glassine bag, and I put 5 different, you can't see them all, but they're all right here, but I put 5 vintage stamps in here. So I used a small paper clip, and I got these years ago from Stampin' Up. They don't sell them anymore. And then I just put on a piece of washi tape to keep it closed. And then the people can use a glassine bag for whatever they like, and then the stamps. So this is just a little treat that you can put in a journal for people to use in their own journal making processes. So I thought those would be fun little things to put in it. This is looking good. And then what I'm going to do before I put everything in it, I have this chain, and it's just a black chain, and then I put that inside, and then I'm just going to close it. If I can get it closed. Sorry guys, my fingers don't want to work today. There we go. So I got the chain on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some seam binding. And I didn't use the crinkled stuff for this. Thought it looked kind of, oops, kind of neat when it wasn't crinkled. And then I liked making the bow. It just added a little bit something else to the project, and I'm just going to stick this through. I just stuck it through the hole, and I just put it beside the chain. I just want to make sure I don't have it tucked in there. There we go. I want that loose so I can attach it to whatever I want. And then I'm just going to make a quick bow. Here, I think I cut these too long. Okay. And then that was it of this little project. I just thought it was fun. And I think it's something different that is neat to be found in our journals, that it's not, because I don't know about you, but sometimes some of the things we make can be the same old. And so making different things like this, it just brings interest to our books. So I'm just going to try to make a bow here. See if it will turn out. Alright. You can make them as big or as small as you want. I like a good size bow. And there I go. And you could just even tie a piece of fabric. It doesn't have to be a bow. I just liked how the bow looked with it. Thought it looked kind of neat. And these, I think these would make really good gifts to our crafty friends. Alright, so I am just going to make this one a little smaller. Okay, there we go. Sorry guys. What? I don't know why bows always work better when you're not taping something, but it always seems to you know, fight with you more. Anyway, I think that's good. That's good enough for now. Okay. And then this one. Okay. And then here is our thing we made today, our charm. So you have your place to journal and a place to stick a picture, I think would be a really cute spot. And then in the back, we're going to stick our bag with some vintage stamps, little card to journal on, and memories, and then our little tag we made. And of course you can stick whatever you like in the back. Something else I thought would be really cute as well is if you're going to be giving this as a gift, if you make one of these to put on their desk, I think what would be neat as a gift as well. Not only, I'm going to share with you, this is a gift card. I use it as a palette, but even if you didn't want to do a gift card, you could even buy some stamps to put back there. I thought that would be neat. Like, I know these are vintage, but I'm saying actual stamps that they can even use now, so you can send stuff back and forth. I thought that would be kind of neat as well. So guys, this is my little project that I made this week. It's super fun, super fun. I was getting a gift together, and I thought this would be such a fun thing to put on the side of a desk so that they can jot down measurements or something quick for them to buy or to do or what have you. So I really hope that you enjoyed this little project we made, whether it is out of one of these coasters or out of just cardstock packaging. It will turn out, I think, the packaging ones are just as beautiful, I think, as the coaster ones. And so I hope you give this a try. It was really fun, and you can design it differently. Now, something else that I was going to say, I don't remember if I said it yet or not, but if you wanted, because obviously you don't have to do a square. Now, if you're going to make it out of card, like out of a packaging material, something that I would suggest, whatever die you want to use, maybe you want to put this in a circle shape or just a really pretty shape that you have a die for. What I would do is cut your cereal box a little bit bigger than the shape you want to use, and I would stick down your paper to both sides of the box and then cut out your shape. Because if you're getting into more intricate shapes, you're going to have to, because I tried doing that, and then you're going to have to try to match up all three pieces, and it can be daunting. So a good tip would be to cut out the card, your packaging a little bit bigger, glue your pieces of paper on, and then die cut it. And then your piece will be glued all together, and then you wouldn't have to worry about that. So that's just a little tip, because I was thinking about doing the same. Well, I did one, and it was hard to match up the shapes, so I thought that would be a neat tip. So this is the one that we had made. Yep, this is the one we made together out of the card, and I think it's super cute. You can hang these on the spine of a junk journal. You can hang them in the front, inside pages, on a tag. I think these charms would be a beautiful addition to any book that you make. And don't forget, one of these with a post-it notes on it, I think would be great on any table of a crafter. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And let's not forget, let's not throw away our junk. Let's journal with it. Take care, guys. Bye.